Hello, and welcome to Punk Rock Tabletop. Today, I'll be giving you some ideas as to how to bring a Star Wars flavor to your particular tabletop. One of the easiest ways that companies have brought Star Wars to many tabletops around the world is to take an existing game and throw a Star Wars coat of paint on it, as I like to say. Say, for this example, the classic game of chess. The only difference between this and any other chess game is the style of pieces that you are using. Traditionally, the only difference between the two players is the color of pieces that they happen to control. In a Star Wars version, typically one side plays as the Galactic Empire and the opposing player plays as the Rebellion. The art and style of the pieces change to reflect, but all of the rules remain the same. Your rook pieces continue to only move in columns and rows, your bishops still only move diagonally, and your knights continue to be underutilized by players that don't know the full potential power of a knight piece in a game of chess. One of the advantages of just slapping a coat of paint on a already established game is you have nothing new to learn. If you're already familiar with the game, you play by the same rules, and the refreshed presentation might bring some revitalized fun back to a game that you used to enjoy. I know for me personally, at least when it comes to chess and checkers, the black player versus red player and all that just is unsettling to me. It's kind of racist, don't you think? I'd rather play as the Galactic Empire and finally wipe out that rebellion once and for all. Another way you can bring some Star Wars into your tabletop is to pick up one of the classic games that not only has a Star Wars coat of paint on it, but also has a alternate rule set to bring that galactic civil war a little bit more into your gameplay. One example of this is the Star Wars version of Risk. With the pieces included, you could, of course, play Risk as originally intended with you and your friends. But it does include a Star Wars rule set which makes gameplay a little bit different and a little bit more interesting. The game supports up to 5 players and actually has 3 different factions. You have the Galactic Empire, the Rebellion, and the Hutts. Each faction does have their own gameplay goal. The Galactic Empire wins the game if they destroy all of the Rebellion units. The Rebellion achieves victory if they are able to destroy the Imperial base that is secretly hiding the Emperor. The Hutts, being more of a neutral faction, seek to establish a certain number of bases throughout the galaxy to achieve their victory. There are, of course, more special rules and special pieces for all sides involved, but this general rundown lets you know that you can crush that rebellion in any game of their choosing. Another way to bring Star Wars to your tabletop is to play a game that was built from the ground up with Star Wars in mind. One example of this is the Star Wars customizable card game by Decipher from the 90s. In this customizable card game, one player plays as the Empire, the other one as the Rebellion. As the game plays and continues, the field of battle and timeline is built in the middle of the table. At these locations, both players deploy characters, droids, spaceships, whatever they customize into their deck to battle and drain the force out of the opposing player. This is a game with Star Wars in mind from the beginning. Depending on the deck that both you and your opponent build, some fun and very weird things can happen in this little Star Wars conflict that you generate. For example, back in the early days of the game when I was competing in tournaments, I had a dark side deck that was all about bringing the Death Star to my opponent's planets and just blowing them up. In another tournament for the game, I witnessed a group of bounty hunters on the dark side being decimated by a pack of seemingly angry Jawas that were fighting for the light side. And that is one of the fun things about this customizable card game. You never quite know what your opponent will be packing in his deck. Therefore, you never quite know what interesting battles or conflicts could happen. For more ideas as to how to bring Star Wars to your tabletop, look for my article next week at www.theculturecache.com. While you are there at theculturecache.com, check out our other sections devoted to cosplay, comic books, movies, and video games. That's right, still no sports ball. Also, while you're there, we do have links to help you donate to us, as well as Amazon.com links. You are welcome.